Home offices are more and more common in American homes. Remote work as well as the efficient operating of households are conducive when they have a dependent space that allows for both phone calls and paperwork and everything in between. We're going to talk with Lori Wiles of the Wiles Design Group to get her expertise on home office lighting design.
Hi, Pete. Come on in.
Hi, Lori. Thanks for having us in.
Oh, it's great to have you. We've got a wonderful home office to share with you today. Do you want to come this way?
You bet.
This office is really versatile, and I want to share some of the features with you that we built in from the very beginning here.
So what type of things do you take into account, Lori, when you're helping a home office in the lighting design?
The very first thing is we want to be sure that it is perfect for that client. So how are they going to use the space? So in this case, we know that we've got the desk that they want to use, but we've got a lot of different ways that we can use that desk. And then you might even see some of the chairs, so they could have a little bit of a conference with someone. Maybe the two homeowners could be in the space at the same time.
So how does a good design that you're going to bring and light fixtures and all that play into saving energy?
We always look at the source, number one. So in this case, we've used a lot of LEDs, which use less energy. But we're, number one, going to look at having overhead or overall lighting for the space. Then we're going to look at how is the desk surface or any surface used. In this case, we've got a great fixture here that can light this surface. If we were doing a Zoom call, we would add a ring light that lights the face of the person that's on the Zoom call. And we've got some great features on the wall. In this case, we're lighting these beautiful guitars that are meaningful to our clients.
Okay, as I look around the room, I do start up top on the ceiling, and let's begin with recessed cans.
Right. So in the last few years, cans have just become way more versatile. So now they're dimmable, where they weren't when they first came on the market 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Really just been a fast evolution of LED lights. So we're going to light the ceiling, can lights. That gives us great overall wash for the room. The amount goes up and down with our dimmer switch.
I look on the wall. You mentioned the homeowner has these beautiful guitars. Talk to us a little bit about the LEDs behind them.
In this case, we used an LED that has a very warm color temperature, lights the fixture. This one, it doesn't actually give off heat. So it doesn't affect the guitar or as art. So we can really preserve these pieces. It's not giving off some heat that's going to damage the finish.
Lori, with the LED lights here, there's really two parts when you talk about temperature. Can you explain that for us?
Right. So we talked a little bit about Kelvin. So that's the K rating. So that's a color temperature scale. So very warm in the 2000 range to very cool in the over 5000 range. In addition to having a color temperature, there's actually a physical temperature to a light source. So LED has a lower amount of heat that it's putting off, where an incandescent bulb is going to put off a lot more heat for the light source. So we would look at even how are those bulbs affecting the temperature of the room, which impacts your overall energy use.
I look in this room, Lori, and again, I notice the desk on wheels, the chair obviously on wheels. So again, with the window here, how does that come in terms of your design?
This office is very, very versatile. So we can have someone sitting at this desk looking out into the room. This is perfect for a Zoom meeting. This backdrop looks great on camera. And if you're sitting here with a Zoom meeting, of course, we might add a ring light or something to kind of flesh out your face, but we can move this desk in front of the window so you can maximize your use of daylight. In commercial interiors, that's called daylight harvesting. We're going to use the light that's naturally available and then reduce the amount of light that we're using within the house, so the fixtures reducing your energy cost. We also have this so that if you're at the window and your back is toward this wall, it also has a beautiful background for Zoom.
And all that plays in terms of your design as I think about windows, my lighting, and all of that. As a registered interior designer and the lighting expertise you bring, what can I expect in terms of cost if I want to hire you?
You know, it's different for every situation. If you're doing something very simply, of course the cost is reflected in that. If you want something more complex or to highlight something, then the cost is a little bit higher. But we're so happy to talk to anyone about what they might need and how we might be able to help them.
As a homeowner, I've got your expertise, this beautiful home office and the design lighting you brought to it. How do I keep the efficiency going?
There are just lots and lots of things that we can do. We can put lighting on sensors so that when you're out of the room, it automatically turns off. You're not wasting energy in that way. We can use a ceiling fan like you see here, and that can run and reduce your need for air conditioning. It can also in the winter make it a little bit warmer, kind of depending on the direction of the fan blades.
LEDs have come a long way, dimmable, and also in terms of, again, energy savings, you can have them so they go off if I go out of the room in terms of energy savings.
Right, so the energy is saved in that way. It's also, you can dim that, it reduces the energy consumption. And in general, you don't have to have really as much warmth or if your temperature of your light is a little warmer. So you just feel a little warmer than if you had no light in the room.
For our DIYers watching, the number one thing you would say if I'm going to do my own lighting for my home office, really understand K and Kelvin and the temperature and what that means.
Right. And in addition to that, you want to look at, do you have overall lighting that's going to be at the ceiling? Do you have something in the mid-room? Do you have something that works on your desktop? So those are the key things. You don't want just one single light source.
Lori, thanks for a lot of great information and sharing your expertise with us. And if you'd like more expertise on lighting options for your home office, visit PowerHouseTV.com and AlliantEnergy.com. LEDs, or light-emitting diodes, are today's most energy-efficient lighting technology. LEDs use 90% less energy than incandescent lighting and emit very little heat. In comparison, incandescent bulbs release 90% of their energy as heat.